Nokia once defined the mobile phone. The Finnish company started its journey long ago in 1865 as a humble paper mill. Over more than a century, it evolved, making everything from rubber boots to television sets. Then, in the 1980s, it pivoted toward the future. Mobile. Telecommunications. This single move set the stage for an incredible rise to global dominance. For a time, the word phone was almost synonymous with Nokia. The company connected billions of people and became a source of immense national pride for Finland. It was a titan of industry, a symbol of innovation, a seemingly unstoppable force in the global marketplace. But giants can fall, and they can fall with breathtaking speed. Between 2007 and 2013, Nokia experienced one of the most dramatic collapses in modern corporate history. The arrival of the iPhone, the rise of Android, changed the rules of the game overnight. Nokia, the undisputed king, found itself suddenly and shockingly vulnerable. Market share plummeted, profits evaporated, and the future looked bleak. A brutal lesson in how quickly a leader can be dethroned when it fails to adapt. The period from the late 1990s through the mid-2000s marked Nokia's golden years. The company did not just participate in the mobile phone revolution, it led it. Its mission, connecting people, was more than a slogan. It was a reality the company delivered on a global scale. In 2007, at the absolute peak of its power, Nokia commanded an astonishing 49.4% of the global smartphone market. This meant that nearly 1 out of every 2 smartphones sold anywhere in the world was a Nokia. The Nokia 1100, a simple and durable handset, became the best-selling consumer electronics device in history, selling over 250 million units, bringing mobile communication to millions in developing nations for the first time. Nokia's success was built on several key pillars of operational excellence. Its supply chain was a marvel of modern logistics. The company could design, manufacture, and distribute new phone models with incredible speed and efficiency. This allowed Nokia to flood the market with a diverse portfolio of devices, catering to every price point and consumer segment, high-end business users, first-time phone owners in emerging markets. The brand itself became a global icon, universally recognized and associated with quality, durability, and user-friendly design. People trusted Nokia. Dropping a Nokia phone was a common joke because everyone knew it would likely survive the fall without a scratch. However, beneath this shiny exterior of success, internal problems were beginning to fester. The company's organizational structure was becoming a significant liability. It was organized into powerful competing silos. The beginning of the end came on January 9th, 2007. On a stage in San Francisco, Apple's Steve Jobs unveiled the first iPhone. Many executives at Nokia initially dismissed it. They saw it as an expensive device, fragile, and poor battery life. A niche product for wealthy enthusiasts. After all, Nokia had already developed touchscreen prototypes and had far more experience building phones for a global audience. They fundamentally misunderstood that the iPhone was not just a new phone. It was a new kind of device entirely. A powerful, pocket-sized computer whose value was defined by its software and user experience. This misjudgment would prove to be a catastrophic strategic error. The disruption intensified rapidly on 2 fronts. First, the iPhone's ecosystem model changed everything. The launch of the App Store in 2008 created a new paradigm. More apps attracted more users attracted more developers. At the same time, a second equally powerful threat emerged. In 2008, Google launched Android, what an open source OS it gave to manufacturers. This move democratized the smartphone. Samsung, HTC, LG rapidly eroding Nokia's dominance in the mid-range and low-end markets. Nokia was caught in a pincer movement. Its own operating system, Symbian, was a relic of a previous era. It was clunky, difficult for developers to work with, and ill-equipped to provide the fluid, app-centric experience consumers now demanded. The company poured resources into a next-generation platform called MeeGo, a promising collaboration with Intel. However, due to internal political battles and a lack of decisive leadership, MeeGo's development was painfully slow. By the time the first and only MeeGo phone, the Nokia N9, was released, it was too little, too late. The company was bleeding market share at an alarming rate, trapped by its legacy software. The crisis reached a fever pitch in February 2011 when Nokia's new CEO, Stephen Elop, sent a now famous internal memo, the Burning Platform Memo. The sale of its mobile phone division to Microsoft in 2013 was a moment of profound existential crisis for Nokia. For the public, it seemed like the end of the company. But for the leaders who remained, it was a painful but necessary amputation that allowed for a new beginning. What Nokia retained were two powerful, albeit less visible businesses: its telecommunications network equipment division, Nokia Siemens Networks, its extensive portfolio of technology patents. This became the foundation for the company's reinvention. The new strategy was clear and decisive: pivot away from the consumer-facing handset market, transform into a B2B technology powerhouse focused on the infrastructure that powers our connected world. A pivotal moment in this transformation came in 2015 with the bold acquisition of its French-American rival Alcatel-Lucent for 15.6 billion euros. This single move was a game changer. It instantly doubled Nokia's size in the network space, significantly broadened its product portfolio and geographic reach, particularly in the critical North American market. The merger catapulted Nokia into the top tier of global telecom suppliers, placing it in direct competition with giants like Ericsson, Huawei. This was not just a purchase, it was a declaration of intent. Nokia was not fading away, it was doubling down on its core engineering strengths to build a new future. Integrating two massive companies was an immense challenge. Distinct cultures, overlapping products, redundant teams. To understand Nokia's dramatic fall, we can apply modern frameworks like VUCA and BANI. The VUCA model: volatility. The market was volatile as Nokia's seemingly unassailable market share evaporated in just a few years. Uncertainty, iOS, Android, something else would win, and Nokia's leadership was paralyzed by indecision, complexity. The situation was deeply complex, with Nokia trying to manage dozens of product lines, legacy software, internal political battles, ambiguity. The initial signals from the iPhone were mixed. Nokia's leaders failed to correctly interpret whether it was a fleeting trend or a fundamental paradigm shift. The BANI framework. Brittle. The company proved to be incredibly brittle. Despite its massive size and apparent strength, its rigid structure and culture caused it to shatter under the pressure of disruption. Anxious. An anxious internal atmosphere where employees and middle managers feared delivering bad news, prevented critical information from reaching the top, stifling honest conversation and rapid learning. Non-linear. The company failed to grasp the non-linear nature of platform economics, where app ecosystems could create exponential value in ways that a hardware-centric business model could not. Incomprehensible. Ultimately, the new world of software platforms and developer ecosystems was incomprehensible to a corporate culture built on engineering hardware. The story of Nokia's fall and rise is a rich source of practical lessons for leaders and managers. The first and most critical lesson: cultivate paranoid optimism. Stay optimistic about potential. Be paranoid about external threats. Be paranoid about internal weaknesses. 2007, Nokia's leaders were complacent, dismissing the iPhone as a niche. A healthy dose of paranoia would have led to tougher questions. Constantly scan for disruptive technologies, scan for new business models. Second, relentlessly build psychological safety. At Nokia, fear stopped bad news from traveling up the chain. Middle managers filtered out negative feedback. Leadership was left blind until it was too late. Reward the delivery of bad news. Celebrate learning from failures. Create channels for open, honest, even uncomfortable conversations. Use a see-say-do communication loop to turn feedback into action. 1. Change typology. Using a framework like Ackermann's typology, how would you classify the change Nokia experienced from 2007-2013, the fall, and the change it underwent from 2013-2020? The reinvention discussed differences between how the company managed a reactive emergent crisis versus a planned strategic transformation. 2. Environmental analysis, volatility. Example, rapid smartphone market share swings in the late 2000s. Uncertainty, example, unclear platform winners between Symbian, Migo, and Android. Complexity, example, fragmented handset partnerships and carrier politics. Ambiguity, example, mixed signals about Nokia's software strategy and roadmap.